Hey, guys. Welcome to the live tonight. It is basically 12 a.m. Okay. But I get here when I can. We're doing a 10-day live, and I appreciate you guys rocking with me. I appreciate all of those who watch the lives after they have posted later on. Tonight we are going to talk about Spike Lee. So I'm going to do something a little different. Tonight I'm not feeling 100%. I'm a little bit under the weather. My kids gave me their germs and I am not feeling 100%, but I still showed up. I'm going to show up. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about Spike Lee. We're going to talk about his journey financing his films. You guys are going to see me glance to my right and my left. Reason being is because I need to look at my notes tonight. One thing I did today was I posted several quizzes or polls in the community tab. I'm usually posting in the community tab pretty often, and I'm just going to share very quickly some of the questions I asked you, the viewer, the supporter, my audience. What type of entrepreneur are you? Are you just figuring it out? Do you have a side hustle? Are you doing entrepreneurship and business ownership part-time, or are you doing it full-time? We got 2 votes there. How long have you been in business? What type of business do you own? What challenges are you currently facing in your business? So, with all of these questions that were asked, it was very clear to me that you guys want more information about business funding. And in my heart of hearts, I really want to go down a pathway to not just teach you business funding, business grants, and business loans and business credit. There are so many other amazing channels here on YouTube that already do that. But I want to more so teach you guys how your business structure is connected to everything. How your business structure truly affects business credit. Being an entrepreneur and business owner myself, I have gone down the path of building business credit multiple times, getting small business grants, and going down a pathway that many of you are on. So I want to share a more holistic perspective. However, I have to answer the call of the people. You guys want more business funding. So tonight I am starting a little series called uh, How Business is Funded. And we're going to do case studies. Tonight's case study is on Spike Lee and how he funded his films and throughout the different lives. And I'll mix it up. I'm going to continue to mix it up. Again, I cannot guarantee that I'm going to be going live every night after this 10-day challenge, but I wanted to be consistent at this 10-day challenge. And here we are. So let's get into it. Spike Lee has never had an easy time financing his films. This article that I read was actually from 2013. It was an MTV interview that was done on Spike Lee, and he's never had an easy time financing his films despite their success. This is what he said. There are projects that Hollywood just doesn't want to make, but just because they don't want to make them doesn't mean those films should not be made. So, because of his conviction to the culture, his community, the things that he saw taking place, he was committed to getting his films made. And he got these films made by any means necessary. Being an entrepreneur and hearing his story, I myself understand that it was probably very, very stressful. His journey has been, but I am grateful for the films that he has produced and the impact that they have had on our community. We may not always agree on what films are best, which films we prefer, but we have to give credit where credit is due. And Spike Lee is definitely a pioneer in the film space and the film industry as it pertains to African American and minority creators. So let's talk about She's Gotta Have It. Okay, I'm sure many of us are familiar with this movie. She's Gotta Have It came out in 1986. So that production began with $18,000. And you guys are here, you're seeking grants, you're asking me what grants are available, you're watching the videos. The production began with $18,000 from New York State Council of the Arts and a $10,000 grant from the Jerome Foundation. Now, again, this was in 1986. Whether or not the Jerome Foundation is still in existence, I did not have an opportunity to research, but that was the organization who gave him a $10,000 grant, and he got $500 from the Brooklyn Arts and Cultural Association. That wasn't enough to get him through post production. I mean, that's a very, very extremely low budget to put any type of movie together, but he was able to do it during the so what he did from there, he put together a rough screening, and he screened that movie at NYU, I believe. During the portion where he introduced himself during that screening, he did a call to action to his audience, basically saying, "Hey, I'm Spike Lee. I hope you like my film. I will be calling you to discuss your contribution or the opportunity for you to contribute to the finishing of this film." So again, She's Gotta Have It. Once it got into post production, there wasn't enough money to complete the film. He put it out anyway. And because he put it out anyway and had that rough cut screening, that final budget was $175,000. And that movie went on to make $7.5 million domestically. Afterwards, Spike Lee went on to produce films like School Days in 1988, Do the Right Thing in 1989, Mo Better Blues in 1990, Jungle Fever in 1991, Malcolm X in 1992, and Get on the Bus in 1996. And of course, this article was from 2013, so Spike Lee has definitely gone on to create other films. However, each of his films, he had financing challenges. So if you are an entrepreneur and you feel discouraged because you are having issues or challenges financing your business, if you have proof of concept and you know your business is worth fighting for, it's worth continuing, take a page out of the Spike Lee chapter. He did it anyway. He did it with incomplete productions and saw his way through, pushed his way through. I want to go on and discuss a little bit more about the Malcolm X film because I found some things that were very interesting there. So, the film Malcolm X was a contentious production. There were a lot of difficulties for various reasons. The subject matter during that time, 1992, there were still many challenges faced to produce that film. And production companies are all about their bottom line. They typically do not go against the norm. What's working? We're not gonna switch it up. We're not gonna change it up, especially for some controversy. Warner Brothers settled at a $20 million budget for this film. That was not enough to produce this film. So Spike Lee sold the film overseas to generate another $8.5 million. But unfortunately, production went over budget. The film was now left in the hands of the Completion Bond Company. Now, I said to myself, what is a completion bond company? I understand bonds because I understand real estate investing and government contracts. But I wanted to give you, my viewer, an explanation of what is a completion bond. So Spike Lee ran out of money to shoot this film, and the completion of the film was left in the hands of a completion bond company. A completion bond company is a contract that guarantees monetary compensation if a given project is not finished. It provides protection if the contractor runs out of money or any other budgetary issues come up during the project. Many businesses use completion bonds, including films, video games, and construction projects. So, this is very common in multiple industries. If you guys ever hear bonded and insured, if that project collapses for some reason, shape, form, or fashion, depending on the magnitude of the project, depending on the investment in the project, it definitely has to have some type of bond in place. So this film, because he ran out of funds, it was now in the hands of the bond completion company. And what took place from there was Spike Lee raised funds from black celebrities. He coined the term that they bailed him out. They gave him a bailout, but it was not just a bailout, it was an investment on their part. And as a result, he was able to complete the Malcolm X film. Not And this should be notated. He said this, as a result, this film will be my version, not the Bond Company's version, not Warner Brothers' version. So because he was able to get the help of his friends, of his colleagues, he was able to finish that film and it became what we know it to be now. So you guys can do your own research throughout all of these films. Just about, he had financing challenges that did not stop him. He continued his pursuit. Many of his films will go down in history, not just in the African American community, but in the film industry at large. I believe that he has been given his flowers. I mean, he's still alive and well, but has he been given his flowers? He, to a degree, yes, to a degree, no. Like he said, these films, movie studios felt like these are stories that were not worth telling, but Spike Lee pushed on, persevered, and he completed these films throughout. So I want to challenge you. What is it that you are trying to do? What are you trying to complete that you are making excuses about? If you truly believe in it, and if you have not seen the video where I go over Sylvester Stallone's story about Rocky, I urge you to go back and look at that video, because he too faced challenges. And if it's worth it, if you believe in it, it is worth pursuing. And as you pursue it, you will figure out a way. I'm going to go back in the notes of this video or in the description of this video, and I'm going to post a book that I read. It has some uh, profane language in the title of the book, and I prefer to just keep this channel as clean as possible. But I am going to share that book. That book, if I were to tell you that you can finance your business and you can create the revenue that is necessary to see your project through, depending on where you are in life and what experiences you may have, you may or may not believe me. I was in your shoes many years ago, and this particular book that I read, it really inspired me to understand that my pockets are not everyone's pockets. Many people have very deep pockets. Many people are willing to make investments. They're willing to finance the things that they believe in. And if I have those connections, and I pursue whatever it is I believe I'm called to pursue, everything will line up accordingly. So I'm going to share that book title with you. Maybe it will help you shift your mindset. I personally believe that a successful entrepreneurship is 80%, 85% mindset. If you can believe it, and I say this a lot, but if you can believe it, you can do it. You can make it happen. So go out there, make it happen. I hope this was inspirational to you. If it was, leave a comment. If you enjoy content like this, leave a comment, definitely subscribe to get notifications, because I enjoy this. It's definitely challenging coming here and going live, finding information, especially with my days being so busy. But I enjoy this aspect, the storytelling, the behind the scenes look at, hey, this successful entrepreneur, how did they finance their business? How did they get their funding? As you see, Spike Lee did not just use one strategy. He used family and friends. He used grants. He used funding that was available within different arts associations, cultural associations, and his local government based funding. So I hope that inspires you on your funding journey. On November 18th, I will be hosting a business funding plan workshop. If that is something that will benefit you, sign up. And I'm actually going to start um, expressing more information about that because we are only 3 days away. If you have not signed up, we only have 15 slots left. You can find the link in the description below. Until tomorrow, guys, I will see you later. Have a good one.